I see. Good morning. So I wanted to come on real quick because I was getting what the title is. Right here. Right here. Thank you. I was getting what the title is. And I don't know if this is a question that many people have. A lot of people want to know. But I just figured I'd come on and just speak, right? Person to person, spiritual being to spiritual being. And it's been crazy because people don't realize that we don't ask for the calling, right? A lot of us go through things in life that place us directly in the line of this calling. But some of us are doing things that, we wanted to do and we're sat down and it's when we're opened up. And so for me, that's how it happened for me. Where I really had an awakening to spirituality. But I want to say it's always been something that's been in me. And when I think back now on the past numbers and their importance and presence in my life, it's been really quite crazy. I do recall waking up, having my spiritual awakening, waking up to the fact that I was meant to do something with my spiritual gifts. The first number that I saw when I began waking up was 1111. So that is a truth where they say that a lot of people who notice 1111 are destined to have a spiritual awakening. And so that was the first thing for me. And if you guys were one of them kids growing up, there's like 1111, make a wish, you have something within you. Not everybody believes in something. Not everybody believes in that other side, right? But some of us are more open just by who we are to the other side of life. And some of us are just open to wanting to learn and grow. And life puts us in situations where we have been, sometimes offered the worst of the worst, right? Or feeling lack, feeling unsupported, feeling unloved. Stop, please. And it's like a lot of us that go through that have to wake up to a certain type of thing. And for me, like, I'll say with me, right? I'll talk about myself for a little bit. Like, growing up, I had 3 siblings, right? My oldest sister had some things going on. She was what they called back in the day a runaway. And, she was a troubled soul, okay? A lot of different things. My older brother, he was the only boy. We grew up in a place where, back at that time, it's crazy to say now, thinking back on it, there was still a lot of racial prejudice going on. My brother was going to school and he was getting jumped, different things like that because he was Black. There was a lot of things that us as a family unit dealt with. And then there was me, who was, kind of like the middle, but not the middle because I have a younger sister. And so my younger sister, chose a different path as well. And so out of the 4 of us, I was the only one maybe that got this flame lit. And, when that occurred, I did try to help, to talk to open up the eyes of my siblings, because I feel like if we all came from the same person, then we must have some of the same gifts. And it is what it is, But growing up, I went through a lot. I was 12, 13 years old. I got raped. I did tell my family about it and I was called a whore. So after that, it was just like, how life happens to women who go through those situations. And so it was just a lot that I had to deal with growing up without receiving the healing, and like I said before, like we go through a lot. We're placed in some situations. No one knows the ins and outs of my story, it's just a lot, on top of that happening very young. I said 12, 13 years old. That was when really my childhood was taken, and then dealing with the abuse that I dealt with at home, where I felt like I didn't get support and attention because, as I told you, I had 2 older siblings. My parents are very much focused on my oldest sister and her things that she was dealing with. So it was kind of like this space where I was meant to grow myself. I was meant to deal with the lack of love and attention because I had to. And then growing up, it was just more that would continue to happen. And I continue to realize that I was placed in these positions to continue to keep going. There were many times in my early life where I was depressed. I was overweight. My father talked about my weight, called me fat, said I would never find a man, said I had no talent. I don't want to say my mother did these things, but there's something to say along the lines of a child sees what is said. And so you may have not been saying these things, but nothing was said to defend your child. And so that causes burden as well. So there was a lot of healing I had to do. Put that down, please. And a lot of the healing for me came from the home, the root. And a lot of, hold on 1 second. 1 sec. A lot of the things I've had to heal in my adult life have been from my childhood. And some people be like, I don't understand that. But there are a lot of adults out here who have not healed anything from their childhood. And think about that. You think of what I have said and the things that I've healed, and think about some things that other people may have gone through that are worse, that have not even begun the healing, and why it's so crucial. So for all of this, right, all that stuff had happened before I was 15. And we know 15 is what? What is 15? Is that the Tower card? The 15 is the devil. So up until the age of 15, I dealt with nothing but devil energy, right? And so as soon as I turned 15, I met my twin. And that's when I want to say my spiritual journey began, even if I didn't know it. There were things that I knew about the connection then that I said that I'm seeing come to pass now. And there's just been this thing that I've always known within me that was true. When I met my person, the first day I saw him, I said, I know I'm going to love this person forever. And I didn't realize the work it would take to get to the point of understanding the connection, and this is really what led me more into my spiritual journey, was because I realized that the love that I had for my person was meant to be a love that was shared with others. And I was taught about, 717. I need you to sit, please. I was taught about the spiritual mission, the spiritual journey of the twins. And, Most High had asked me, he said, I need you to be the speaker for the twins. I need you to understand how powerful your love is and the love that you feel for your person, to display that to the world of other people, because there are others just like you. I was the first person to talk about the twin flame journey. Everyone said, oh, you're crazy, you're crazy. I was the first person to talk about kingdom spouses. Oh, she doesn't know what she's talking about, 8:48 on the time. And I just continued to follow the guidance, The healing that I did led me to believe that there was a higher calling for my life, and that I wasn't meant to just suffer and be in pain. And when my grandmother passed, who was the closest being to me, it almost crushed me. Because she truly was an angel in my life when I was alive. She never did anything to make me feel unloved. She gave me so much extra. I always just felt that embrace from her, okay? And when she passed away, that hurt me, because I wasn't around, I wasn't there. But when I opened up to mediumship, she was the first person that I was able to connect with, and that was for me healing. And she had told me some things, and she said to me, no, people aren't going to believe you, but I need you to trust what you hear from me. I need you to believe and understand that I am real. And she said to me, every time you see red, you need to know that's me. And this is why I say I love you, Red, 4/14. That's her birthday. She is an Aries as well. And so, she goes hard for me in the spiritual realm. She goes hard for my twin. She goes hard for my children. She goes hard for my foundations. She really works hard for me to know that, the love that you lacked in your 3D reality is all here in the spiritual realm. And for me, it's all been having the faith, sight beyond sight, having faith to walk a path that you can't see. And as I haven't really realized it, but as I've been walking the path, I have been blazing the trail. I have been called to be the leader of the twin flame journey, to show you guys it's possible, to show you guys that, there's more to it than just the black magic. There's a reason why we're called to heal. There's a reason why we're called to open our souls up to something higher, right? Not just our minds, but our souls. And I am so fortunate and grateful to be able to be in the space where, regardless of what comes, I can still do what needs to be done. The deck that I just created was because I need to get this message out. I feel like this is such a small space, this is such a small platform, but the world needs this knowledge. There are people out here who have suffered. There are people out here who want to heal. There are people out here who want clarity. There are people out here that want to be connected to their higher selves. Forget God. Not everybody believes in God, but we still have a soul. We still have a spirit, and there's still a higher force working through us. And if I can touch the souls of people and shine healing in there and shine illumination and shine hope, I just want you guys to know that you're not crazy. Your spiritual journey is yours. You know, your intuition was given to you for a purpose. And we talked about the 6 this year. 6 is the 6 of Swords, the lovers, right? The 6 of Swords talks about spirit guides, hidden helpers, and how I told you guys before this year started that we needed to listen to our intuition to move us forward. So a lot of you guys are coming out of 5 of Swords energy. And that was the mental confusion, because here you have the High Priestess and the lovers. I need you guys to understand, if you guys were confused about any of the messages I have been giving or why I have been giving them, it's because I was called and chosen to be a twin who illuminates the path for other twins to walk down. We've seen in the past with the other readers who claim to be, whatever, and where their messages have led twins in the wrong directions. And I need you guys to understand why me. It's because the path that I walk, the path that I talk, is the path that I actually live. The readings that these people are getting, they're picking up on my energy. I am a true twin, living this path, blazing this trail for others to walk it. The communication that I come in and give you guys is to help free you from the mental confusion that the 3D world might offer you. Meaning there are a lot of us out here who are spiritual beings and the only one in a situation. We're the only spiritual being in a place. We're the only spiritual being in a job. We're the only spiritual being in a classroom. And we are called to let go of the mental strain, the mental stress, the confusion that the 3D reality has given us. And so when I come in and give communication, while though sometimes it may be harsh, it's always to free you guys. It's to free that one. You understand? It's to free that one who is suffering from persecution, who is suffering from judgment, who is suffering from execution. I heard execution of the mind. There are people out here who are literally trying to stop your mind from making logical decisions. We talked about this in my previous reading. This is why I'm here, to bring in the clarity. 8 of Wands is communication when Spirit calls me to. The 4 of Wands. We're healing our roots. The 4 of Wands talks about reunions. The 4 of Wands talks about ancestors. The 4 of Wands talks about celebrations. When I see the 4 of Wands, Most High always told me the 4 of Wands was our stable foundations in this 3D reality. As spiritual beings, why we were called here to build and create something in this reality. Why we were called to unify with Spirit. Why we were called to learn from our ancestors, why we were called to be spiritual beings. I feel like the world as we know it is changing, and a lot of people are going to becoming more spiritual, are going to becoming more self-attuned, are going to be becoming more energetically aware. And it's just because this is where we are. More of what feels right, less of what feels wrong. Before, it used to be given to others as you would have given to you, but we've gone through our trials, we've gone through our tests, and we understand what we put out is what we get back, simple and plain. So in this 4 of Wands, in this new energy, in these new firm foundations, in these new stable, I'm hearing commitments that you guys may be forming, that I'm forming, the things that we have been working so hard for, they're coming together. 4 of Wands is also the card of 1111, if a lot of people don't know that. So if you guys are seeing 1111, you got to know there is a reunion happening in the spirit, you and your spirit team, you and your spirit guides, you and your ancestors, you and the Most High. And this deck that I have created is going to forge that bond even stronger and tighter. God has messages for you all. Kaylin, come here. So the Tower is here for the world. Come here. The Tower is here for the world. Meaning, remember we talked about the paradigm shift? Remember we talked about the shifts in the world that are actually happening? It's right here in the cards. The old way is literally falling. The old lifestyles, the old, I'm just hearing everything old is being cleared out. What's happening right now in this new energy, this new world, we have closed something out. And what is being closed out is ties to karmic ideologies that tell us that we have to deal with the things that we are met with in this world. As spiritual beings, we are in this world, not of it. You understand? And so for me, why me? It's because I realize that fact and I trust my intuition and I use my gifts not only for me, but to help everyone else. I have given myself to the divine, and I have said, Most High, use me as a vessel for change. Use me as a vessel for love. Use me as a vessel for peace. And while sometimes it's hard to be that, I have to be what I have asked the Most High to bless me with. So when I share my gifts with you, when I come on here and give you these channeled messages, it's only to illuminate you. It's only to illuminate you to what you already feel. Okay? Kaylin, come here, please. 8 of Swords. Freedom of the mind is what I get with this card. Okay, come here. Right here. One sec, guys. Yeah. Sit down. Thank you. Okay. So, hidden familiars, okay? Allies, natural assistance, divine support, and comfort. Closing circle, pure intent, sacred doors, timing, and experience. Why me? Because when my ancestors called on me at the proper time, I answered the call. And so when we talked about yesterday, that opening circle, well, today we have the closing circle, meaning what I am saying after this, nothing can be taken from, nothing can be added to. When I leave this message, this circle that I am giving you guys is being closed. And if you guys have entered the circle, if you guys, you'll understand what I'm saying. If you guys resonate, okay, this is why I have called to be who I am to you. And if I have given you any messages of clarity, if I have given you any messages of hope, I am grateful that I have been able to use the gifts that I was given to do so. I do not use my gifts to harm anyone. I do not use my gifts to wish anyone any negativity. But what I will do is I will tell a person, if you come from me, what you ask for is what you will receive. That's fair and that's just. Baraka, power, strength, force, and expansion in secret seances, spirit worlds, messages, assistance, and memories. And I said 15, right? 1521, okay. As I said before, this is just further confirmation. I use what I was given to create abundance for myself and everyone else. When I first got on this journey, Most High put and instilled within me, I do nothing unless it's for the highest good of all concerned, and I live on that. Nothing I do is selfish. Nothing I do is just for me. I am used as a vessel for change. So as I change, you change, or you don't. It's up to you. But this is why me, because I come from a pure space. I learn so that I can teach. Everything that I have learned, I have taught you guys as well. I'll say that again. Everything that I have learned, I have taught you guys as well. There is nothing that I have learned that you guys could not have picked up on. So this is my message to you guys. I will continue to give messages that Spirit calls me to give. I will continue to use my gifts to move this collective forward. And why me? Why am I attacked so harshly? Because like we said before, those elites, those higher ups, those higher authorities, they know who I am. And they know that I was called to do something. They know that I was called to do what I'm doing. Exactly what I am doing is what they knew I was supposed to do. You understand? So they have to attack the leader of something, because then those who follow will fall, is what they think. But this is why my battle is different from yours. This is why I talk so much. This is why I vent so much. This is why I have so much clarity and wisdom. Because I am the one forging the path. If they can get me out of the equation, there is no path, because no one can do what I do. Continue to trust yourselves in the guidance that you receive from me. Continue to know that I will only give you honest, accurate, and truthful messages. Continue to know that if you don't see me on here for a while, it's because I'm learning, I'm growing, and I'm expanding. But everything that I do for me, I do for us all. And this is the beginning of the changes that we had spoken about, 1919, in the spiritual community, where those of us who have been called to lead are standing in our rightful positions. Those people that have been called to stand beside us are beside us already or on their way. You guys don't worry about nothing right now. The battle was not yours. You were just called to be a witness to it. And anyone who is around you is a witness to your strength, Divine Feminines, you need to continue to embrace yourselves. Know that you are stronger than you believe. Divine Feminine, your masculine loves you endlessly. All right? Divine Masculine, your feminine thinks the world of you. Daddy, I love you. There is no better person, no better man that God could have placed, you hear these horns, that God could have placed in my life. Thank you for being exactly who you are to me. I love you, and that's for life. That's why me. Have a good one.